It says I'm live. Is this live or is it Memorex? This is just kind of a test chat. I don't expect anybody to join, though I sent a message out to Facebook in case anyone who is usually on my morning message is available to come check this out. Otherwise, I'm just going to record this and then I'll go back and watch the playback and see how wonderful or not it is. It's just going to give us a way to present the message in the morning. We usually do a program Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time, in which what we do is we go through the Bible each day. We go through a 365 day. So it's pretty easy to, excuse me here, this is what we're reading out of right now. We have the Pray for the Persecuted Bible, in which what I do is I just simply go to whatever day it may be. So like today is Friday, January 27th, and I would just then do the readings for that particular day. We do an Old Testament reading, we do a New Testament reading, we do a reading from the book of Psalms, and we do a reading from the book of Proverbs. And then, of course, we wrap up with the prayer each day. And of course, there's always a lot of other things that go on in this live stream as well each day. And you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to talk about when I come on here live, just like tonight. I have no idea what I'm talking about. And I was trying to set up this live stream and asked my wife, Becky, what do you think about this? And she says, that sounds really good. And then I said, what did I say? She says, I don't know. What did you just say? I can't keep track of it. So then we had to kind of come up with a message. Basically, this is one man's journey, mine, and others join me in the morning. And that we have a good crowd of about 7, 8 people. If you find this live stream, again, you can always join us. We're always looking for more people to join the classroom. We have a lot of great people that join us every day, Monday through Friday. Like I said, right now it's about 7 or 8 people. I've been doing this message for about 4 years, but this is something new that we're going to try to do on YouTube. I'm so used to saying Facebook. But YouTube, we're trying something new. So just to continue with the test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an excerpt that I read on the program this morning. Plus, my wife Becky wanted to hear it tonight, so she is in the background and she can listen. And I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. This is the story I read about today. And this is in a book, what we call the 1-year book of amazing stories. And so it has 365 days of seeing God's hand in unlikely places by Robert Peterson. And so what I'm going to do is, I think just to play around with this YouTube channel, I'm going to just go through and probably do a YouTube live in which I'll do a reading each day just so I can get the feel of this. It's a different platform for me. Plus, I can see how it works. So for tonight, we're going to read January 27th, because of course that's what today is. And the title of this excerpt is The Man Behind the Curtain. Are you listening, Miss Becky?
Listening.
It's story time.
And you're listening.
Okay, here we go. Tell me when you have figured out who I'm talking about. Lyman was a daydreamer. Born the 7th of 9 children, he got little attention from his parents. A weak heart kept him inside. As a result, Lyman spent lonely days dreaming of fantasy lands somewhere over the rainbow. He would expend his life searching for a pot of gold at the end of one of those rainbows. By his early 30s, he had been a journalist, printer, postage stamp dealer, and poultry breeder. Then he published a trade journal only to fail at that too. He started his own theater, becoming its writer, director, and lead actor. Most of his plays were flops. When he fell in love with Maud, her mother warned her that Lyman was a flake, but Mom's misgivings were no match for his ability to mesmerize Maud with his fantasies. After they got married, his theater went belly up. So he moved his family to the Dakota Territory, where he opened an emporium specializing in Chinese paper lanterns, Bohemian glass, and gourmet chocolates. But prairie farmers in the 1880s were not interested in novelties. This time, the dreamer went bankrupt. When he moved to Chicago, his mother-in-law watched him captivate his children with magical stories and suggested that he write children's books. Have we figured it out yet? No. His first was called Father Goose. His book, a collection of pictures and rhymes. He then wrote a novel for children. While searching for the title, he noticed the label on the bottom drawer of a file cabinet. O-Z. Have we figured it out yet? Yeah. We got an answer over here. Every publishing company turned down his manuscript until one offered to print it if he paid the cost himself. He waited for what seemed like an eternity before the first copy sold. It was Christmas of 1900, and he couldn't afford presents for his children. In desperation, he went to the publishing company in hopes of finding a royalty check. When it was handed to him, he didn't dare look at it. He arrived home with the check in hand and gave it to his wife. When Maud peeked at the number, she almost fainted. It was made out for $1,423.98, the equivalent of $40,000 today. Everything changed for Lyman Frank Baum when the world fell in love with his book, whose title was inspired by the file cabinet label O-Z, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It became America's best-selling book. L. Frank Baum would write 70 books out of those fantasies he dreamed up during his lonely childhood. In 1919, he died of heart problems that kept him indoors as a child. He didn't live to see his book turn into a 1939 Hollywood movie or his beloved characters become indelibly etched in American culture. But his amazing story should encourage those who take longer to discover their true calling in life. It also proves that there are no wasted moments. Even a failure on the prairies of the Dakotas can teach something about tornadoes in Kansas and hope that comes after the storm somewhere over the rainbow. And then there's a phrase at the end, which is really cool. It takes the darkest storms to produce the brightest rainbows. And then they have a verse at the end of each story. And this verse is, all around him was a glowing halo, like a rainbow shining in the clouds on a rainy day. This is what the glory of the Lord looked like to me. And that is Ezekiel 1, verse 28. And there is your reading for today, Friday, January 27th. And this concludes the test run. Just wanted to see how this would work. I will send invites out so that others can check it out. Like I said, we're having problems on Facebook. And so we're trying to find a different platform in which we can meet on Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you see this message in the meantime and you want to join us, I will try throughout the weekend because I'm going to try to do some more testing, reading some messages, but then I will go live come Monday morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, good evening.